So the beauty industry, you have to be careful, just all the, let's just say all of these industries are created to, and nowadays I barely wear anything. It's like, oh, just comb my hair, let me just apply a little bit of lipstick and go out. Unless I'm going to an event or a party, or I don't bother too much anymore with, quote, the beauty industry.
Are they all Jesuits or Freemasons or other secret societies, and do they only determine the pecking order on bloodlines or the best sacrifices on money?
Pecking order. Well, first of all, all the secret societies. I said there are people that are in there, and as far as the pecking order, there is a pecking order. Like I said earlier, that Robert Maxwell is maybe a layer or two above somebody like Clive Davis. So there is a pecking order. Will we ever really know who these people are? Not necessarily, right? We can see somebody like Clive Davis who's on the pecking order, but then did people really even know about Paley until Shaun and I had this great discussion today? I don't think anybody really paid attention to Bill Paley, who is seriously above the pecking order of somebody like Clive Davis, who is a front man. But I'm going to give you guys another example. So my abuser's father, Meshulam Rickless, had many umbrellas for many different companies, among them the Riviera Hotel, which is it's now gone, but it was a gambling casino in Las Vegas. He was a front man, and they put him in this position because he did not have a felony. They had to make sure that these guys, no matter what they did, and trust me, they did a lot of things that were not right. They had to keep some of them without getting a felony so he could get a gambling license. So they have their ways of putting anyone we can see in a position. Don't assume that they're just there because of their merit. Possibly they were placed in that position for something.
All right, so next one is Altian Childs, Aussie X Factor winner, unearthing Freemasonry. Have you seen his YouTube videos on this or heard of him?
No, but I'll be looking after this chat. Thank you for that, Sue.
Okay, let's have a look. How about my president, Gustavo Petro?
I'm sorry, I don't know much about Gustavo,
I
but
don't
I'll look
either.
into it, Ellen.
Yeah. Would you agree that the most dangerous cult's hierarchy is Jesuit, Kabbalist, Mormons, Jehovah's Witness, New Age?
They're all infiltrated by the same people. They're all just as dangerous.
Yeah, and why is Scientology missing from that? Come on, up to speed now.
Exactly. Let's be fair here.
From what you know now, do you think most serial killers are made to keep society in fear?
Pearl sugars, yes, absolutely, 100%.
Do you
And
believe
oh,
they?
wait, one more thing. Can I add something to that, serial killer?
Yeah, yeah,
I believe a lot of these so-called serial killers are in fact a group of people, as with, let's say, the David Berkowitz son of Sam case, and that in fact most, if not all, are connected to some, can I say, satanic practice.
yeah,
And
indeed.
they will do that so that a serial killer, even Jack the Ripper, may have very well been more than one person. I believe that the term serial killer is an invention of these forces that we're studying in order to terrify the public.
Okay. Do you believe they cloned Michael Jackson? What are your thoughts in general on Michael Jackson?
I think he got caught up, as a small child. He beautiful music, but Michael Jackson was a friend of our friend Jeff, and was a friend of our friend, all of them, and so he was just sort of caught in a place that would not have been fair for anyone.
What about Genie Fox? The tattoo on his head is gone.
Oh, I don't know. I had not noticed.
Kate wants to know thoughts on Beyonce.
Well, she herself, I think, has gone around, proclaiming her love for the black arts. So I would believe her.
Who does Kirby think was behind Princess Diana unaliving?
Her husband, her ex-husband.
Will chemtrails end with Trump?
Sadly, I do not believe that would happen.
You're getting asked whether Mel Gibson is a good guy.
Well, it's interesting. I've been watching Mel Gibson, and his eyes freak me out. It's almost like that movie, Shaun, what Orange Clockwork. What is it with the Stanley Kubrick guy in the eyes? Mel
Yeah,
Gibson's eyes give me the heebie-jeebies MK Ultra vibe, and he was in that movie about something like that. So I don't know what to think about Mel Gibson.
I have seen how the police and the authorities treat those who report what has happened to them. Scientology. Do they think it has a connection to what you have told?
I mean, Scientology is basically an offshoot of the L. Ron Hubbard stuff, which was an offshoot of the the satanic stuff. It's all the same. It's just the same. It's just different names. Don't forget, guys, when something happens, let's say, for example, in New York, in 1953, we had a CIA scientist by the name of Frank Olson unalived at the Hotel Statler on 34th Street in New York City. When he was unalived, they changed the name to the Pennsylvania Hotel. Afterwards, they changed the name to something else. Now they just completely removed it. And the reason names are changed, so you have something like Scientology, which really came from another place, is so that the public does not see that it's the same thing. Basically, it's just, it's marketing.
Okay, so next one. Were Aaliyah and Left Eye and Whitney Houston sacrificed?
I believe they were unalived before their time, yes.
Elisa Lam and Kenneka Jenkins were both found wandering through hotels and ended up unalived. Were these elite sacrifices?
These are fascinating cases. Nobody will ever know, but they're very mysterious. And I don't know what happened with them, but, you know, I would love to know what happened to them. I don't know if they were
Is Disney as really evil as?
more, more than it even appears. I'll give you, can I give them one example?
Yes, please.
An MK Ultra victim recalled that she found herself in a bus with other children of her age, very young, being taken to Disney. And she was instructed to go up to a random male and somehow get him to do something on one of the rides by, let's say, the MK Ultra unit of the CIA. And she did. She went on to write a book. I forget what it's called. If I remember, I will post it somewhere. And she talked about the fact that they did, in fact, use Disney. So I do not feel that Disney is a safe place.
Wow. How many Masons are Luciferians?
Who knows? I don't know.
That's like saying how many grains of sand are
Yeah,
there in the sea.
yeah.
Have you been following the Miami Alexander Brothers court case happening in SDNY?
Well, I do know about what happened to them, and it's another. They're connected to the same people. If you look even on their Wikipedia page, they're connected to Leon Black. So what does that tell you?
Indeed, our friend who likes to hand over hundreds of
Yes,
millions
yes,
for
yes.
legal services. Thoughts on Eminem and 50 Cent?
They were vehicles used by this apparatus in order to infiltrate the minds of the young people.
Yeah, we had Professor Hamamoto on talking about how intelligence co-opted rap, and then you've got same investors in putting music out telling kids to commit crimes, and they're also investing in the private prisons.
Yeah.
Just one big money go around. Kleenex wants to know, what does this lady, as in you, do?
I'm an author. I'm a public speaker. I uh, I spread awareness. I'm a survivor of human trafficking and of as slavery, and I write.
Will Jay Z's estranged son get justice? He's trying to get a
No,
DNA test.
no, because Jay Z, what he wants to protect the most, from what I can see, is that he was involved with someone who was not of age. So I think he has a very difficult road ahead of him. Jay Z, as I have explained previously, is on a very high position, and he will not let that go.
I
And
know
they
there's
won't,
10.
and yeah, they won't let him succumb to this either.
Jay Z's got tens of billions of business deals
Yep.
riding on his reputation,
Yep.
and that's something that's well protected. And for the viewers who are not familiar, we have interviewed Jay Z's estranged son Ryan Mia 3 times now, including this week. So check out his story, and he's such a lovely,
He
positive.
is. He's a darling, darling kid. He's wonderful.
Yeah. Was Selena Gomez made to cry and humiliate herself?
I watched it. I didn't understand why she was crying, so I turned it off.
Okay. Um, was Yolanda Saldivar, who killed Selena Rulli, just a disgruntled stalker, or was there more there at all?
I remember that, and I remember that very well because people used to say, "Oh, you look just like Selena," when I didn't think I did. But I believe Yolanda kind of went sideways, and this was basically she just did it.
This person wants to know about the corruption of sports.
Very. Sports was in a way created to launder money.
Okay. All right. Let's see. Um, just trying to get through. We've got about 10 minutes before the next show starts, but there's still loads of questions backed up. All right. Thoughts on Freddie Mercury?
Again, propped up to influence the masses.
What's about the spinning black cube in Times Square? Saturn black cube. What's underneath?
Black Cube is, don't forget, it's the name of that intelligence agency hired by Harvey Weinstein, uh, which is staffed by former Mossad agents. Now, there are references to a black cube that go back historically, and that you can just, that's an easy pickup. And that, again, our cities, I live in New York City, I walk around, there are um, plaques and statues and monuments and our cities, and even a bank is built in such a way, it has columns, it looks like a old Roman building, and they do this to give you a false sense of safety, to make you think you're walking into this very um, honorable institution. Well, we've discovered through the Jeff case that these banking institutions are not honorable at all, but there are signs everywhere. We have the obelisk, not just in Central Park, we have an obelisk, and we have it in Washington, D.C. All of these are symbolic of this group that we discuss.
What do you think about George Soros just buying 121 airwave stations?
I didn't know he had done that, but Soros is a bad guy.
Yeah, and there's a lot of these guys buying land and water rights around the world as well, aren't they? Stuff like
Yeah,
that.
because if they control the food, they control the populace. Have you noticed? Let me ask you, I mean, have the prices of food gone up in the UK? Because they have here in New York.
Oh my God, they put the squeeze on people here terribly, and they've cut the pensioners' winter fuel allowances, and the heating bills have gone through the roof as well. So there's people now, there's pensioners here have to choose between food or having heating during the winter.
Yeah, I mean, people have to choose between seeing a doctor and eating, or it's become very difficult. I'm gonna just answer this, and I've got to run off. But the Durst
Okay.
of New York, the Durst of New York, they're one of the largest property owners of New York City. Jeff had an MK Ultra German trained psychiatrist named Jarecki, who was, you can find it in the phone book. But anyway, he was sued in, I believe, June of last year by one of Jeff's girls, I'm going to just say, who was sent to him for whatever, a tune up, whatever. And he decided, oh, well, I want you for me. And he was at the time 80 or something, or whatever he was much older. My point being that the building that he put her in, and she had no, she had no papers. She's from France. You're stuck. And he basically said, if you don't stay here with me and do my bidding, so become my own slave, then I'm going to send you back to Jeff, where you're going to have to service 100 people like me, old and decrepit. And he put her up in an apartment building, and I've written about this in my Substack in my series on Jarecki. However, it was owned by the Durst family, and the Durst they're connected to a lot of nefarious people, but so are in fact a lot of the big landlords, because they again are somehow connected to this money that comes in, and they just have to drop it into real estate. That is, real estate is a very good laundering vehicle.
Yeah, well said. But we appreciate you spending this much time with us. We've gone way into overtime with all these questions, so thank you, viewers.
Well, no,
And
thank you for having me.
please reciprocate by following Kirby's platforms. They're all in the description box below this video. I'll put them in the live chat as well now. And there's the Substack, the YouTube, the Patreon, the Twitter, the website. And if you didn't join me at the beginning, because we've got almost 3,000 watching live right now, I was just so delighted that my friend Kirby, who we collaborated with extensively on the Epstein case 5 years ago
I
now,
know.
and she's just continued to research the hell out of this intelligence apparatus, and is prolifically putting out books and research reports and Substacks. So yeah, and as you can tell from what you've heard today, she's an absolute encyclopedia of knowledge. And we would love to get you back for part two, maybe in a couple of weeks' time, if you're up for that.
Sounds good. I'm always ready at the call.
Oh, thank you very much. And you have a great rest of your day, my
Good
friend.
seeing you, Shaun. Take care. Bye.
All right, yes, bye-bye. All right, so we've got another show starting in 5 minutes or so. And there's still a few questions that I could probably answer myself. I will do so. But I've also got to, let you guys know what happened on the channel yesterday. We've run into some legal situations. We've run into some threats. We've run into some problems with platforms. So basically, there's a campaign been launched against people who are getting reach on the Diddy story, Jay-Z story. They are probably the two main camps behind, we speculate, allegedly, behind the campaign against us. You've seen that Tony Busby went through hell. He continues to go through hell. They're trying to turn his life upside down. Jag were right. You've seen all the campaigns against Jag. And one of the things they fear the most is reach. Because if any of you read the lawsuit that just came down, the $50 million lawsuit, in which I'm named on about 3 or 4 pages of it, they're asking for $50 million from Courtney Burgess, Ariel Mitchell, Courtney's lawyer, and some platform as well. If you've looked at that, they keep citing, the number of subscribers people have and the reach. So when you are collaborating with someone like Jag, me and Jag have got this chemistry whereby, people, it really resonates with the viewers, and these videos consist that the enemy is absolutely afraid of. So as we saw when we went through all of the Epstein stuff, you know, I lost videos with 60 million views, lost the channel twice. And yesterday, we had to take down about 90% of the videos that we've done on Diddy. Yeah, the video is cutting off. It shouldn't be. It should be okay. All right, so it might be just your internet. So 90% of the videos that we did on Diddy were deleted yesterday, including all like the big classic episodes that we did with Jag and Courtney, and where people were just coming in and out on the night, and I was just interrupted. Wow, a few people have seen that, have they? Are we still getting interrupted? Because they are watching, and I have had notices from my internet service provider saying that we've been under direct service attacks, whereby they go through the internet service provider to try and shut these live streams down. A few people saying, "Yeah, I'm glitching." Yeah, so they're probably same interruption here. And I'm in a different country. Yeah, so these attacks come in many forms: legal action, strikes, trolls, hackers, black ops. And I didn't give in. It was basically this has got to go or the whole channel goes. So glitching over in the US as well. Yeah. So, we try and navigate these dangerous waters and get through them as best as we can. And that is what we have just done. I've learned a lot from what we went through with Epstein. And people sometimes say to us, why are you censoring words? Why are you making people minimize things? These are serious crimes, serious allegations. When you're censoring your guests, it's, reducing the credibility of the story, and it's a disrespectful to survivors. But we can't get where we are on a platform that's got this many viewers without presenting information in a way that prevents the enemy from weaponizing what people are saying and completely destroying everything we've ever built. And, they've chipped at us and took some of it away yesterday. I do have a Rumble account. And on my Rumble account, I think we've got almost 100,000 followers on Rumble. And on my Rumble account, there is a lot of videos that were deleted during the Epstein days. So you can check a lot of that stuff out over there, including all my David Icke stuff got wiped during the Epstein days. That was weaponized against me. So, I've got to be careful what I say. I've got to be careful what the guests say, because it's not the guests who get in trouble. It's me. The publisher is legally responsible for what the guests say. So we've got to be careful what the guests say. We've got to be careful what the co-hosts say. If whatever's said on my platform, they hold me legally responsible for. So that is why we have to mute words and get people to say certain words instead of other words, etc. People are saying I'm glitching all over the... Are we still glitching? Right. Put 1 in the chat if I'm still glitching. Put a 2 in the chat if I am not glitching. Let us see, because people are just going mad right now in the chat, saying it's glitching all over the world. So we've got some 1s, some 2s, 1s. Thank you, guys. All right, so we've still got a huge night ahead. We have got Raja, who so many of you requested to get on the channel. Raja is coming on in 1 hour to talk about the grooming gangs and how the Labour politicians were enabling them in exchange for votes they were providing for them. It's going to be fascinating how he breaks it down, and he names people, he calls people out. That's in 1 hour's time. about to start right now. We have got Bev coming in with Tinkerbell, and they're going to be doing off-world cryptid kind of stuff, and that is going to be going for the next hour, I believe. And then we have got on Saturday night, we have got two experts on JFK coming in, and they are going to be talking about the files that Trump has authorized to be declassified. Yeah. Let me see. We have got Tommy Scoville coming on Thursday night. Yeah, and on Thursday night, he's going to be talking about a Masonic over 100-year-old cult that he's going to be exposing. And Ron's got his Friday show, and we need to line up some stuff for tomorrow as well, by looks of things. I will get on that. So Ron is going to be starting his show now. Let me just check to see if he's hit it. And I will customize over to it. So, yep, he's live right now. It's showing. So, guys, if you want to stay with us for the rest of the night, stay tuned. This one will take you over to Ron's show, and I will see some of all y'all in an hour with Raja. Thank you for tuning in, folks.